My name's Bobby Bedard. I'm from St. Bruce, Saskatchewan, and I study kinesiology at UCalgary. I live on campus in Cascade Hall. Well, I enjoy it because it's really close to classes and I'm close to the services that UCalgary has to offer. I spend a lot of time in the kinesiology building even when I'm not in class. I often study in the area overlooking the pool and I exercise in the fitness center. My favorite classes involve learning about the body and human health, especially the hands-on labs. The profs in kinesiology are great. They go really into depth about the topics that are super interesting, and they're always ready to answer questions, and they have plenty of office hours to help out if you have anything you need. The faculty advisors in kinesiology have been really helpful. They provide information regarding which classes I need to take and help me get enrolled in them. I came to UCalgary because the kinesiology faculty is highly rated, but I also came because of the city itself. One of my favorite things to do in the city is go to Princess Island Park when it's nice out and walk around and study. UCalgary also has a great sense of community. One of my favorite events is the Crowchild Classic hockey game between the UCalgary Dinos and the MRU Cougars, and they play at the Saddle Dome. I'd sum up my life at UCalgary as very busy, but also very exciting. I think it's important to find a balance between school and the rest of your life.
All right, hi everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this presentation. I hope you enjoyed those little clips just as we wait for people to get in here and join us. Just before we start, I just wanted to ask everyone if they could hear me well. So I just launched a poll. If you could indicate yes or no, that would be really great, and we can get the ball rolling. Yeah, awesome. And another question, just to get a good feel for what kind of applicants we have with us today. If you can indicate what faculty you're considering applying into. Okay, cool. So majority we see a lot of science, engineering, and health science students. Those are really great programs here at the University of Calgary, and I'll be happy to dive into them when we come up to those slides. But to shortly introduce myself, actually, thank you again for joining us. It's a small crowd today, but I'm happy to be here and provide any kind of assistance you need. If you have any questions, please hold them off until the end, and I will try to help with any questions you guys may have. But otherwise, thank you again for joining us for this webinar. This webinar is specifically for students in the province of Ontario, and I'll be giving you as much information as possible to help you make an informed decision about university and post-secondary. Just before we start, I would like to respectfully acknowledge the traditional territories of the people of the Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta, which includes the Blackfoot Confederacy, comprising of the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nation and the Stoney Nakoda, including the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley First Nations. The city of Calgary is also home to Métis Nation of Alberta Region 3. If you or anyone else is of Indigenous heritage, we do have a lot of support and programs and services here for Indigenous students, such as the Indigenous application process, as well as our Writing Symbols Lodge that helps students with anything relating to their career or academics as well. If you'd like to follow me along throughout this presentation, you can feel free to scan the QR code there on the screen. It'll be giving you access to the viewbook. The viewbook has a lot of content that I'll be covering in this presentation, as well as the programs that we offer. There's over 250 programs across our faculties here at the University of Calgary, and you can look at it in there and see the admission requirements for them as well. And so just a little quick facts about the University of Calgary. It was founded in 1966, and we have currently more than 28,000 undergraduate students. And you'll see there, we are Canada's entrepreneurial university, and what that means is that we are very hands-on with the different types of experiences our students can participate in. So this might be looking at, let's say, starting their own business, or even taking an entrepreneurial thinking course. You could do anything from internships to research and all of that. And that's something that we really encourage our students to participate in and integrate within the learning. Overall, really great university to be studying in. And I'll just talk about where it's located in. So the city of Calgary and the University of Calgary is located in the province of Alberta. You can see right there a variety of different landscapes to explore here. Drumheller is where the dinosaur capital of the world is. It's also where you can view the Badlands. And also to the west of that, we have Banff and a lot of different Rocky Mountain locations there, Canmore, Lake Louise. You'll probably see a lot of that on the internet. We have tourists from around the world visit our Rocky Mountains. And the nice thing about Calgary is that we're just 1 hour away. So it's very common for Calgarians to just head out to the mountains for the weekend, whether it's in the summer or the winter. There's always something to do. Hiking, skiing, snowboarding is all there. There are over 6 major ski resorts within 3 hours of Calgary. So if you're interested in that and you want to get outdoors and see, there's a lot of things to do within Alberta. And the great thing about studying in Alberta as a student is that there's no provincial sales tax, so it goes a long way when you're studying. We have the 4th largest population in Canada, and yeah, so not too big, not too small. And within the city of Calgary itself, we have a very young demographic here. And talking about the quality of life, we are the #1 most livable city in North America, 5th in the world. This is because of factors such as education, healthcare, as well as infrastructure and how clean and safe it is. And you can see also we have the second lowest cost of living in Canada, and ninth in North America. And so compared to other big cities in Canada, rent here is around 35% cheaper. So this is something you want to consider as a student when you're budgeting for your first year and beyond. We have North America's most extensive bikeways and pathways. So if you're not heading out to Rocky Mountains, there's always something to do here within Calgary. You can see in the picture right there, we have the Bow River. It's very common to see a lot of people either walking, jogging, biking, or even, let's see, rafting down the Bow River too. You can also fish. So a lot of activities to do if you want to get outside. When we are home to 9 of Canada's top 100 restaurants, so different cuisines to explore as well. In the city of Calgary, again, every day is opportunity to get out and do something because we are Canada's sunniest major city with an average of 333 days of sun per year. And yeah, overall, really good city. And we'll just move on to what the campus looks like. So here we have the main campus where you'll be spending most of your undergraduate studies studying in. The #1 thing that we like to highlight here is the Taylor Family Digital Library. So this is North America's most technologically advanced library. And it's also home to a collection of over 200 video game copies and various consoles. So yeah, you can actually take a Japanese course here at the University of Calgary, and you can play those video games and write about them for your course. On the first 2 floors of this building, it's a very common place for students just to meet, socialize, or even study. Whereas on the 3rd and 4th floor, those are more designated study zones. So it's really quiet, and it's a really nice place to study for any kind of assignment or exam too. Right beside it, we have the McEwen Student Center, another central place on campus where you can actually dine. So there's over 20 different restaurants here. So a lot of students head here for lunch and just grab a bite, head off to class. It's in the middle of campus, so it's really easy to access. And yeah, McEwen Student Center is also home to our student wellness services. So if you need any kind of medical assistance, if you need to see a dentist, chiropractor, massage therapist, or even optometrist or physician or counselor, they're all here located on campus. And if you plan on living residence, it's very convenient. We also have the bookstore here where you can buy textbooks and supplies, and a few major bank branches are also located in the student center, and you can all have access to that here at the University of Calgary. And to the left, we have the transit system. The transit system is pretty extensive in the city of Calgary. We have our own university train station here. That's a 5-minute walk to the first building, biological sciences. And yeah, you have unlimited access to the um, to the transit system with your U Pass. It's included in your fees and tuition, along with your health and dental benefits. And we also have a lot of bus stops here as well. So there will be bus stations and bus loops around campus that you can find. So if you want to head over to Market Mall, which is a 5-minute bus ride away, that's something you can do as well. But overall, it looks like a big campus, but in reality, once you set foot on campus, it's only around a 10 to 15-minute walk to get from one side to another. And within your first year, there's a lot of different things that you can participate in. Not only do we want you to focus on your academics, but we really want you to immerse yourself in the campus experience. So we have activities such as the community garden, where students, faculty, staff can participate in. They can reserve a plot of land, grow their crop, and at the end of every harvest, the team of gardeners have a little dinner together. So that's something you can do. And the student union events are held throughout the semesters. So what you see in the picture right there is the pet therapy session, where we have SU volunteers coordinate this event. They bring pets onto campus. You get to pet them, learn more about their story, and it's a really good way to de-stress and recoup in time for exams. There are also Clubs Week, which happens at the beginning of every semester. So in September and January, we have over 100 different clubs gather in the center of campus, set up booths, and we have 1 to 2 representatives from each club just to represent the club. You can walk by them, ask them questions about the club, get to know who they are, what the people are like, and their mission. And yeah, you can sign up if you want to, or you can sign up to participate in their first event and see how that goes. But all in all, a lot of different types of experiences to be experienced at the University of Calgary. You can cheer on the dinos, and participate in the Faith and Spirituality Center. And so on the topic of student clubs, there are over 300 student clubs here at the University of Calgary. Fun fact, there's actually over 80 different types of engineering clubs. You can take a look at one of them on the top right of the screen right there. That is the Solar Car Club, and they develop solar power cars and participate in various different types of competitions that they won awards at as well. So a lot of different things that you can participate in a variety, including academics, athletics, cultural, social, religious clubs are all here. If you don't see a club specifically that you're interested in, you're more than welcome to create your own club. You can scan that QR code right there and see the different types of clubs there are and the steps to create your own club. Just gather with a group of friends and head to the SU's club office and propose your club, and you could possibly get funding towards your first event as well. And it's also important that you maintain a healthy lifestyle at the University of Calgary. So we have tons of amenities, such as the aquatic fitness and gymnastics center. Those are all included in your fees, and you have access to them. And they have flexible hours, so you can head there before or even after classes. The Olympic Oval, which you see in the big picture right there, holds the fastest skating ice in the world, actually. This is because of factors such as the climate control facility, as well as the altitude is located in, that makes it the fastest skating ice in the world. You may see Olympic athletes training here throughout the season, but you're also more than welcome to use the facility yourself. You can rent a pair of skates, skate on the ice, and we also have the Racket Center, where you can play sports such as racquetball and squash ball, even badminton, and you just rent a court and play there. And the Outdoor Center, which is the largest of its kind in North America, is a place where you can rent any kind of equipment. So if you're heading off to the mountains for the weekend and you need a kayak, canoe, or camping equipment, you can rent it there at a discounted price. We have over 50 intramural sports teams here at the University of Calgary, the most popular ones being sports such as badminton, dodgeball, and soccer. So a lot of different things that you can do to get active during your studies. And we really encourage our students to participate in work integrated learning. So this is hands-on. Hands-on experiences where you get to apply your course knowledge and just enhance your understanding of your field. So for the arts and commerce students, there are co-ops available. So co-ops are 12 months long in total, broken up into 3 work terms, which are 4 months each. And students they have the flexibility to participate in any kind of co-op that they are interested in. And our career advisors here are really helpful, and they will support you throughout the way. For science and engineering students, you can participate in internships. Those are more long-term, so they can last as long as 8 to 16 months, just depending on what opportunities are available. But we find that our students really enjoy this length just because they get to participate in the project from the start to finish and see what their group effort has turned into. For nursing education kinesiology students, there are practicums available. They're mandatory for nursing and education students, but for kinesiology students, this is something that you have the option to participate in if you want to. And for health sciences, community rehabilitation, and social work, there's paid research, clinical and field experience, and community engaged learning there. For the science, arts, and business students, there are over 100 paid positions available for you to apply to. And we had recent placements in Suncor, Imperial, CNRL, and a lot of organizations here that are headquartered in Calgary. And so you also have the opportunity to study abroad. You can study, work, or even volunteer abroad. But if you plan on studying abroad, there are more than 45 different countries that you can study abroad in. And the great thing about this is that you can earn credit towards your UCalgary degree while studying in another country. And you only pay UCalgary tuition and fees when you study abroad. And yeah, if you have any questions about study abroad, you can scan that QR code there. Our study abroad advisors are really great. They help you determine when you can fit study abroad into your program, as well as what kind of courses can you take while you study abroad. And there's a lot of different types of student support here at the University of Calgary. Career services, for example, you can get interview or resume help. What that looks like is sitting down with an advisor, walking through practice interview questions, and also looking at your resume, seeing where you can be more clear and concise. It's really great because the career advisors are experienced and they know what the employers are looking for, so they might give you tips and tricks on how to write your cover letter to make it more appealing and effective for the interviewer. And if you have any kind of questions relating to the different career paths you can take with your degree, you can book a one-on-one career advising session and receive assistance there. We also have the financial aid office. So if you need help applying for any kind of funding, you can contact our officers there and they can help you for that. And if this is your first time managing your own funds, we have workshops such as the Money Smart workshop, where you can learn how to effectively manage your budget within your first year. And we also have student support, the Student Success Center, where you can get writing support. So if you're taking an English course or a course with any kind of writing component within your first year, you can seek the writing support services, sit down with an advisor, and walk through your paper as well. And we have peer-led study sessions, which we call PASS sessions. These are really helpful. If you're a first-year student, we have basically study sessions where upper year students kind of run the tutorial, and they walk through practice questions with you to prepare you for any kind of exam or test you may have. But yeah, a lot of different types of student support here that you can see. These are just a few that are listed on the screen, but you can check our website at student support for all the different types of student support that you need as a student. And we are also home to the Dinos. We have over 20 varsity team sports here at the University of Calgary. If you're interested in becoming a student athlete, you can go to godinos.com and get in contact with the coach by emailing them. But if you're on the other side and you like watching sports, you have unlimited access to sporting events with your uni card. So it's a really good time getting decked out in red gear and cheering on our Dinos at our annual events. The biggest ones would be the kickoff, which is the first football game of the season, or even the Crow Child Classic, where we compete with rival institutions here. And so, yeah, a lot of different things for you to do as a student. And if you're planning on living in residence, the key date here that you want to apply by is May 1st. That guarantees you 2 years of residence. There are double and single rooms available. Double rooms, you can request to be matched with someone you already know, but if you don't know anyone, that's totally fine. We have a questionnaire that you can fill out and we'll match you with someone according to your personality and lifestyle. Single rooms are available, but they are on a lottery basis. So on your application, you just want to indicate that you want to enter the lottery for single rooms, and all the lottery winners are randomly selected. All of our first-year students are required to enroll in the All You Kids Eat meal plan. So you can see there we have a variety of different menu options: halal, vegetarian, vegan, and gluten-free meal options. We have a lot of athletes who dine at our dining center, so we accommodate a lot of different types of dietary restrictions. And there's also an on-site dietitian and chef there as well if you have any questions about that. But living on campus is great because the residence hall is linked to the rest of campus through an underground tunnel, so you never have to walk outside to get to your core classes. And in terms of campus safety, 98% of our campus is covered in security cameras, and our campus security is available 24/7. We also have the Safe Walk program, which is a phone number that you can call, and you'll be linked with a student volunteer who can walk you to any destination within campus if at any moment if you're feeling uneasy at any time. And we also have the student medical response team, which provides pre-hospital emergency care. And so there are 8 faculties that you can apply directly to as a high school student. So there's the Faculty of Arts, Science, Business, Engineering, Kinesiology, Education, Nursing, and Medicine. There are a few that are not listed here that we'll mention later on, and those would be like law, medical school, vet med, and social work. And so to give you a quick run through of our faculties, the Faculty of Arts is the largest faculty, and this mainly consists of programs in the humanities and social sciences. You can see the most popular programs we probably have are economics, philosophy, political science, and sociology. We have a lot of students who are interested in that and pursue that for their studies. If they plan on going into law or medicine, those are popular ones that people are interested in. And you can see here there are 2 different types of psychology. So there's Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and Bachelor of Science in Psychology. And the main difference between the two is that the Bachelor of Science in Psychology will mainly, your program requirements will mainly, or there will be a fair share of science courses that you'll take in your program. Whereas in the Faculty of Arts in Psychology, you have more flexibility with what kind of courses you can take. So you might even be able to minor in sociology if that's something you're interested in. And for the Haskins School of Business, there are 16 concentrations that are available. If you don't know what concentration you'd like to apply into, you can enter the Haskins School of Business as a business student, and this is basically a general major where you can take courses from different types of different concentrations. And it's very common for students to remain in the business major until their 3rd year of study. That's when they have a good idea of all the different types of concentrations we have, and they've taken introductory courses in accounting, finance, marketing, and all that, so that they can make an informed decision and transfer into a concentration. But they're actually able to graduate with a business major too. And for the Faculty of Science, there are programs here that are honors-only programs. So you can see plant biology and zoology. If you enter directly from high school, you will be enrolled in honors program. And the honors program is basically a thesis that you'll complete in your 3rd or 4th year of study. And we have a lot of students who may have a mixed bag of interests, and they're not really set on one area of science, so they might apply into natural sciences. And in natural sciences, you may be able to declare up to 2 concentrations. So if you have an interest in math and computer science, then you can indicate that as a natural science student, you'll be able to take courses from both programs. But we have a lot of students who are interested in neuroscience and also biological sciences. That's for students who may want to pursue medical studies after they're done their undergraduate studies, or even become teachers afterwards. For the Cummings School of Medicine, there's 2 different types of programs here. Bachelor of Community Rehabilitation. So for this program, students will be looking at issues such as how does stigmas against disabilities affect social policy, for example. And for the Bachelor of Health Sciences, this is honors only. So again, like zoology, if you enter directly from high school, you will complete a thesis. But the great thing about health science is that your courses will prepare you to create your own thesis. And Bachelor of Health Sciences, these are not specifically for students who are interested in pre-med. This is not, I would say this is pre-med exactly, but it's more for students who are interested in any kind of health-related research. For the Faculty of Nursing, you'll have 3 practicums that you'll participate in, and this can be from clinical or community placements. You'll switch throughout your studies. You'll be introduced to each one. And yes, a really good faculty. The students here are very close-knit, and there's also a simulation lab that students can participate in as they wish. For the Workman School of Education, there's a 4-year campus-based route and also a 5-year 5-year combined route. So for the 4-year campus-based, you'll essentially be graduating with a Bachelor of Education, whereas in the 5-year route, you'll be actually graduating with the Bachelor of Education as well as another degree. So some students may have an interest in English, so they'll be able to graduate with a Bachelor of Education and also a Bachelor of Arts in English as well. For the School of Engineering, the most popular programs we see students apply towards is mechanical, chemical, civil, electrical engineering, for example. And we see a rise in students who are interested in software engineering. For all engineering students, the first year is a common first year. So almost all the courses within your first year will be identical to one another. So you'll be able to create friends within engineering. And towards the end of your first year, that is when you'll be actually able to declare a concentration. But the School of Engineering is a pretty good program. I know that they're building was a $200 million project that combined its 6 old buildings into one new complex, and they have a lot of multiplex maker spaces for students to explore. So there's a sound lab, textile, machine lab, robotics, 3D printing. It's all there for students to explore. And for our Faculty of Kinesiology, we have the Bachelor of Kinesiology and Bachelor of Science of Kinesiology. Again, the difference between the 2 programs would be what the requirements are. So for the Bachelor of Science, again, there'll be more biology and chemistry courses that are involved in that program, whereas in kinesiology, you have more flexibility with that. And there are some programs that require some previous post-secondary studies. So that could be law, medicine, graduate, social work, or even architecture. And for some of these programs, such as social work, the minimum amount of post-secondary study that you'll need to transfer into social work would be 2 years of undergraduate studies and social work 201, which is a course. And the great thing about the University of Calgary is that you get to customize your degree. So first you would want to select your major, and then once you've done so, within your upper years, so around 2nd, 3rd, or 4th year, that's when you can choose a minor. The reason why we don't do it right away is just because students may change their mind. And once they get further down into their degree, they'll realize that they've taken enough courses to declare a minor, and that's something that they would want to complete in their education. But we also have embedded certificates, which are around 12 to 24 units. And there are a variety of different certificates that you can embed onto your degree, such as creative writing, entrepreneurial thinking, or even mental well-being and resilience. And if you are really ambitious, you can actually take a combined degree option. So Some students might be interested in both engineering and business, so they might want to enroll in the dual degree or the combined degree, where they will be able to graduate within 5 years with a business degree and also an engineering degree. And so if you want to find more information about our different faculties, we actually have faculty information nights that you can visit, and you can register there with that QR code, but we also have application workshops and award workshops in case that's something that you need help with. And the key messaging here that I want to talk about estimated admitting averages is that, as you see on the screen, these are estimates, and this can change at any given time throughout the admission cycle. Sometimes programs are really competitive and they might drive up the average, or sometimes they might stay the same. So the best piece of advice to students that I always give is just to aim as high as you can and study really hard to get the best mark you can. And so there's a $125 application fee for applicants with Canadian credentials and $145 for applicants with international credentials. When you apply, you'll be eligible to apply for 2 programs. The first choice would be something you're most interested in, and the second choice is something you're also interested in, but it might be something with a little lower admission average compared to your first choice, just in case you didn't get into your first choice. And another rule for applying with 2 programs is that if you are interested in an honors program, the honors program will have to be your first choice. So for example, for the biomedical studies in the Bachelor of Health Sciences, some students may be interested in that program as well as biological sciences, but they would have to put biomedical studies as their first choice and biological studies as their second choice. You can apply starting today. Applications did open on October 1st, and they'll remain open until March 1st, 2022. And so here's some information about applying to the University of Calgary. So admission is based on 5 faculty-specific high school subjects, and they vary throughout depending on the faculty. So it really depends, and what I advise you to do is just check out the view book and see what the required courses are, and we'll be looking at the average between those 5 courses for admission. And there are some programs that require some additional requirements, such as the Bachelor of Health Sciences, where you have to submit a supplementary essay. For dance and music, you have to do an audition, which will be taking place in the springtime. And for visual studies, you'll have to submit a portfolio. All of our students are required to demonstrate English language proficiency. So this can easily be fulfilled if you've taken 3 years of high school English. If not, then you can just look at our ELP requirements on our website and see the different types of ways that you can fulfill this requirement. The last resort for most students might be an English language test. And a few key things here about document submissions. The initial transcript is due by March 15th, and you just want to make sure that your UAC number is sent to us. All you have to do is send us your UCID along with your UAC number to admissions@ucalgary.ca, which is the email, and send it, and then we'll get your UAC number from that way. And that's when the first transcript is due, March 15th. And the final transcript is due by August 1st, 2022. And that's when you want to make sure that, again, your UAC number is sent to us, and that's how we'll retrieve your final official transcripts. And if you're missing a course that's required for admission, the things that you can do is take an AP exam, or even take a high school course online from a recognized curriculum. Or if you're already taking an SAT subject exam, that's something you can do as well, but they are no longer offered. And if you achieve any kind of excellence outside of academics or overcome some kind of significant hardship, you can seek admission through the diverse qualification process. And in this process, you'll just need a complete personal profile as well as references. And all of these applications are evaluated on a case-to-case basis. And so this is what you can expect within your first year of budgeting. You can see domestic and international tuition, and then fees, book supplies. I just want to keep in mind that some of these numbers are estimates, so it really depends on every student's living situation, and personal spending. So I highly recommend that you scan that QR code right there and use the cost estimator to get a true representation of what your first year will look like. And so the university has $17 million available in scholarship, bursaries, and awards available annually. Not only is it just for first year students, but once you finish your first year and you move on to your second, third, fourth year of studies, there is funding available to you as well. And the main difference between the different types of awards is that scholarships are based on academic merit primarily, whereas bursaries are based on financial need, and awards can be based on multiple criteria. So it can be based on academic merit, financial need, as well as extracurricular activities too. There are automatic awards that you can be given. So the President's Admission Scholarship is $5,000, and this is for any first-year student entering the University of Calgary with a 95% or higher. And then for IB students, if you earn a grade of 35 or higher, then you can get $2,000. And for the prestige awards, these are high value awards that you can apply to. You can see here, $15,000 renewable for 4 years for a total of $60,000. There are some additional components that you had to fill out. So there'll be written portions where you had to demonstrate your previous experiences and achievements. And the due date for this award is December 1st, 2021. And for the high school entrance awards, there are over 100 different types of high school entrance awards available. And the due date here for these high school entrance awards are March 1st, 2022. So it's always a good idea to work on your prestige awards first and then focus your efforts onto the high school entrance awards. And the high school entrance award is pretty simple. It's just one application that takes 15 minutes. And after filling out the application, we'll consider you for any types of awards that you're eligible for. And if you need extra funding, you could visit ucalgary.ca/student loans to see what kind of funding is available to you as a student studying that came from Ontario. And there's a variety of different types of funding available as a full-time or part-time student as well. And if you need more funding, there are also external awards, which you can visit at ucalgary.ca/awards. And the key two providers that we see a lot of students receive funding or apply for is Universities Canada and the Calgary Foundation. And so just to wrap up the entire admission process, the first thing that you want to do is research different types of programs available and ensure that you fulfill the program requirements. After you've done so, then you want to submit your application and pay your application fee and upload any kind of documents that you have. So if you're a grade 12 student right now, then you want to submit your grade 11 marks just in case you want to be considered for early admission. And by March 15th, that is when we want to see your initial transcript containing your grade 12, your first round of grade 12 marks. And then after that, you'll have access to your student center. Your student center is where you can check your application status as well as apply for any types of awards. Again, apply for the prestige awards first and then work on your high school scholarships afterwards because they're due later on. And then after that, just make sure that you keep checking your student center. Make sure that all your to-do list items are up to date. You have nothing else outstanding. And you can, after you've been given offer admission and accept offer, just make sure that you pay your deposit by May 1st. Your deposit goes towards your first year tuition. And you can start registering for courses after you pay your deposit and start courses in September. And so I'll leave any questions up for anyone to ask, but here's my information. You can contact me at ontario.recruiter@ucalgary.ca for any kind of application or pre-application support. If you need help booking a one-on-one meeting, you can visit me there. But we also have different types of social media channels that you can visit as well. One of the most useful ones is the Choose UCalgary podcast, where you can listen to different types of faculties explain what it's like to be studying in their faculty. So you might want to view the faculty kinesiology, for example. They have a great podcast episode about what's available to them as a student, different types of internships and co-ops available. And if you want to stay up to date with everything, make sure you follow us on Instagram as well. We'll be posting a lot of different types of content for you. Yeah, if you need if anyone needs Mackenzie's information, her email is indigenous.recruiter@ucalgary.ca. But if you plan on applying, or if you already have, you can scan that QR code right there and get in contact with us. So what that does is it just allows us to send you an email outlining the application steps and what the application guide, and to let you know how you can apply. And after you applied, we'll actually be able to keep track of your application, make sure nothing's outstanding or missing. And if there anything is, then you'll be automatically notified through email to see that you need, and in case we need any kind of documents. But yes, thank you guys for joining us for this presentation. And yes, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the chat box, and I'll be happy to answer them. So in terms of the UAC number, you would want to send your UAC number to this email right here. So I have a question here asking how early can we submit our transcripts? So for the for your grade 11 transcripts, you can submit them as early as possible. Just because if you are a grade 12 student right now and you're completing your first round of grade 12 courses, we just want to ensure that we have those grade 11 transcripts as early as possible, so that we can consider you for early admission if possible. But yeah, as early as you can, and then for your first round of grade 12 marks, just make sure that we have your UAC number so that we can get that on the first day that we retrieve the transcripts from the UAC website. And so if you plan on doing a dual program, let's say, for example, in engineering and business, that would be your first choice. You just want to indicate that. If you indicate it separately, then it would technically be first choice might be engineering, and then second choice might be business, which is completely different from applying compared to applying to as a dual program. Does anyone have any other questions? Yeah, of course, yeah, no worries. If you guys do have any questions though, feel free to just send me an email through the ontario.recruiter. I know it's been a long day. I know that it's probably around 6:20 there in Ontario time. But thank you so much for joining for this presentation. There's a lot that we unpacked here. But if you have any questions, I'll try my best. Just send me an email at ontario.recruiter. And if I can't answer your question, then I'll for sure guide you to the right resource for you. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys for joining me today. And yeah, I just hope everyone has a good day, rest well. And yeah, hope to see you study at the University of Calgary.